Welcome to tonight's Cicero regular town board meeting, Wednesday, November 9th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. Please note 2 exits in the rear of the room and 1 up front. And if you would, please silence your cell phone, and we'll stand for the pledge of allegiance.
United States of America, to your republic, which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing and remember those who serve the time's way as we soon approach Veterans Day. Thank you. If anyone would like to speak on behalf of any of the agenda items tonight, you're more than welcome to come up and speak now.
My name is Tim Murphy. After that last election, I think that the vote we had really counts when the big cities tell us what we're going to do. So here it makes a difference. Cicero Town Board, in the summer of 2002, Cicero approved the Commons project that changed the zoning to accommodate Walmart or the store with the stroke of a pen. The regional commercial PUD did not give the 25-foot setback to Lincoln Ave. 20 years later, the neighbors showed up en masse, October 12, 2022, the town board meeting complaining about how they've been treated. Without the PUD, planned unit of development, Metro North Housing, under the RM zoning codes, can only have 228 housing units, not 278. According to the notice tonight, it was 300. It's bad enough to have another traffic light on Route 11 at Echo Park, but the disrespect the neighbors are getting. It's an arbitrary and capricious zoning is beyond reason. Well, legal and engineering do not need another neighborhood annoyed for decades on it. Think about the precedent before you vote tonight. This PUD should not be in our code. It's ridiculous. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? That being said, that I just again will tell everyone here that we will not be voting on this project tonight. And we'll move on to approval of abstracts. Councilor White.
Approval of abstracts. Move for the adoption of a resolution approving abstract number 43 dated 10/26/22 and number 44 dated 10/31/2022.
Second. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. No abstain. Passed.
Budget modifications. The Cicero Town Board approves the budget modifications as presented.
Second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
So before we go on to the next, we have a group here tonight with the Cicero Police Academy. We're going to do you can do your recognition. And what we'll do is, I'm going to set this up quick, okay? And all the board members come down. We'll get some photos with them. Yeah. We'll do that. Okay. And then we'll
Great, thank you, everybody. So these ladies and gentlemen you see here have spent the last 10 weeks with us at the Cicero Police Department, volunteering, coming in and learning about multiple facets, not only the Cicero Police Department, but the criminal justice in general.
How's that?
Perfect. Thank you. Topics include forensics, Medical examiner's office came in, we went over generalized safety operations of the department. The department, in comparison to other agencies in Onondaga County, the criminal justice system at whole, use of force, active shooter events, and they ended a tour of the 911 center last night. They also learned that how busy our town and agency is, handling over 19,000 calls for service last year, being the second busiest town agency in Onondaga County and providing high quality service. I want to thank everybody for going through this and spending the last 10 weeks. I want to thank the town board's support of this program. The chiefs of police supported the program. We've graduated over 100 people so far from our annual Citizens Police Academy, and we couldn't be happier that everyone has dedicated their time and showed up every week when we all have busy lives. So I wanted to thank everybody. We're going to just announce the names. And Thomas Bezigian. Gene Brooks. Raymond Burley. Carol Furchin. Gail Seltzer. No. Okay. Sharon Rose. John Pelosi. Mr. Henry. Pruitt Henry. It's not spelled that way, and I don't want to butcher it.
I saw this one, I'm like, there's no way I'm reading this.
I'll take it. So this is our 7th class, and we're going to continue to do this in the future. And it's a phenomenal community policing program that we have. So not only our citizens understand what we do and better and can help us help them. So thank you guys very much.
Well, on behalf of the graduating class here, and I'm sure all of us would agree, we thank you, Chief, very, very much for your support. I can tell you that this is really fantastic what the sergeant mentioned, 9/11, the medical examiner, the judicial system, and also a great appreciation for how dedicated our police force is and how hard they work. I mean, it's outstanding. Anyway, I give you great congratulations. I thank you very much, Chief. So on behalf of the class, we give you this plaque and thank you for your support. Just real quick, this couldn't happen without Sergeant Snell. He puts a lot of work behind this. Along with all the other instructors that helped out throughout this program. There's not many municipalities throughout central New York that put on citizen police academies. I know Manlius does, and I believe just Cicero that put on these academies. So thank you for donating your time to come learn what we do. It means a lot to us, and we really appreciate your support. So thank you. Sure, Mike, you're going to just briefly make that. Make sure you see everybody's face.
Congratulations. Congratulations. It was very, you should do it. I know. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Bye. Take care.
Yeah, definitely will.
Somebody forgot their, thing on the.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm very happy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That was easy. Your hat.
What? Didn't even know the dingle this way.
Oh, not far enough.
Okay, thank you very much. Chief, I know you want. Thank you, Chief. I want to thank the citizens for being part of our program. Number 5, we'll move on to number 5, Councilor Carp.
Right,
I can, I'm going to waive the reading of the notice that was posted and advertised, correct? Tracy, thank you. And we'll now open the meeting and the public hearing will start at 6:42.
Okay. This is regarding some changes to the zoning law. The attachments that we have up here, there's 2 pages of changes and I've only got 1. I don't know if what was published on the website had both pages of the PDF or not. So there's 3 things going on here. One's a minor change to section 210-34.1. Basically, it's a violation to disobey an order or directive of a code enforcement officer, and this modifies it to provide that there's a defense, an affirmative defense. Basically, if they say you need to clean all this up and you just need to prove that you tried, essentially, made a good faith effort to, and that's a defense against conviction. The second part regards short-term rentals, commonly referred to as Airbnb, also Verbo, vacation rental by owner. So this is nothing new. It's already banned in residential zones in Cicero, but it's not banned as in saying you can't do this. It's banned as in it's not an allowed use. And so when it's come to enforcement, we've had some issues with enforcement because there's nothing actually in the law saying you can't do this. And that's been a bit of an issue with some of the cases that we've had up here. Because if a law is not clear, it can be deemed to be unconstitutionally vague because it's a violation of your due process rights to basically be held to account for a law that a reasonable person could not understand. So this is going to clarify that and clarify that short-term rentals, which are defined as overnight accommodation for compensation, consideration, or barter for less than 30 consecutive days, or if such accommodation shall occur wholly within the month of February for less than 28 consecutive. This has no effect on someone owning a single-family residence, a multifamily residence, and leasing it out. That is a residential use. This is something, again, that's already banned in Cicero. And, I know there's someone from Cicero Fire here, and if he'd like, he can speak more to it, but there's some public safety issues here, setting aside the considerations that we have about quality of life, parties, traffic. Because some of these homes are advertising that they sleep more people than the code would actually allow. And if you have an alarm activation or a 911 call for a house fire, and I'm assuming the Cicero Fire or EMS or whoever is going to come there prepared to treat the number of people you'd expect to find in a single family residence, and you've got 20 people suffering from severe smoke inhalation, it's a problem.
And so there's a public safety issue there. I guess, you know, in discussing this as a town board, whether we wanted to move forward or whether there was a discussion about maybe allowing and regulating in the past. Cicero's not a tourist destination. I think if you buy a home in Alexandria Bay or Sylvan Beach or out of state of Myrtle Beach or Virginia Beach, maybe you expect you're going to have renters, short-term renters, people on vacation. I don't think people living in Muskrat Bay Road or Beach Road or Long Point Road expect they're going to have 20, 30, 40 people bachelor parties being rented out with music and drinking in all hours of the night. I just don't think that's an expectation Cicero residents have. So we are going to make it very clear that this is not something that's allowed in Cicero, and make it a separate, not only would it be a prohibited use, it would be a separate violation of the town code to offer a short-term rental. And then finally, with respect, because the town board has concerns about, especially micro income, appropriate land use in the town of Cicero, and considering the fact that there's a lot of people who'd like to build those very large solar arrays like we see on Northern Boulevard, we are going to be creating a new zoning district. And the tier 3, the large solar arrays, these are not ones on people's roofs. This is not a solar array that serves one building. This, if everyone knows the giant one on Northern Boulevard now, that's a tier 3, are only going to be allowed in this new zoning classification called commercial solar. There are currently no commercial solar zone parcels in the town of Cicero, which means anyone who wants to build a commercial solar or build a tier 3 solar array now will have to go through the zone change process, get approval for a zone change, and then in turn go through the permitting process that the town board passed with chapter 208 of the town code. So we can't prohibit solar in the town, but this does give us even greater control over where these large arrays might go. So that is the purpose. And the second page of the attachment has the bulk regulations for that. So that is the sum and substance of the proposed changes to chapter 210 of the town code. Anyone else on the board?
Can we confirm that the second page is in the attachment? With that request, since it's not in there, again, I don't want to slow the process of things, but can we, just upon my request, keep this open? Obviously, let the residents speak tonight, but since the attachment was there, if we could keep this open for another meeting.
Yeah, no, I think that's appropriate, but I think it looks like there might, the nods I'm seeing, there might be a couple people that are here to comment on it, so I feel like they're here, they have to stay.
Absolutely.
And then, yeah, I mean, no, it should be we should continue it, we make sure that both pages are posted.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Really 100% of that.
No, public input. Does anybody want to come up and speak on behalf of the solar and the changes for the plan?
Good evening, Judy Boyke, 6303 Muskrat Bay Road. Board members, obviously I was up there when we had discussed this before in regards to the Airbnbs. I have a couple questions. How, once this new local laws put into place, how are we going to be able to define the specific ones that are already being rented?
I mean, there's multiple ways to do that. We certainly could just go to Verbo and Airbnb, but I would assume the town board does have subpoena power. So what we had discussed, and I mentioned to our town attorney, would be subpoenaing the records, the listing records for the town of Cicero from Airbnb and from vacation rental by owner, and then sending notices to all of those property owners who have listings that this is now prohibited. And, you know, you need to remove the listing and then see if they comply or not.
Thank you. I obviously in the real estate business, so I'm pretty much aware of, there are at least 7 Airbnbs on Long Point, Muskrat Bay Road, and probably 8 because there's another one on Beach Road. Also, once they are, well, if you're going to subpoena them, then that'll be a way to enforce.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously going to resolve, these things are probably going to continue to pop up. My understanding is those companies don't care if it's prohibited in your jurisdiction. And we're going to rely, and we're going to have the public's going to have to, we can't continuously subpoena these. So the public's going to have to report it if there's an issue. And, you know, we obviously would first start with trying to educate them, we can't do this. And then move on to more persuasive means of enforcement if they don't comply. Certainly, you know, this is new. We want to give all these people notice before we start, you know, citing them with zoning violations. So if you're aware of specific addresses, or if you know anyone else that is, I would encourage you to give them Mr. Procopio so we can begin the process once this passes and takes effect.
Yes, because there is, three specific companies that are buying up all waterfront property. And because I'm in the business, I actually have a couple of them, put bids on in one of my piece of property, which they lost. But they have since purchased one 5 doors from me. And the same one also owns one further down in Muskrat Bay. So they are there, and I do know the addresses, and I will provide them to Steve. I'm glad to, on the solar. Do we have that law in place now
The chapter 2,
Yeah.
that was in place, yeah.
for the zoning?
Oh, well, they're requiring a special permit, yes, this is the new, we're creating the new.
That'll go in with us. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else like to speak on behalf of the 210? Changes?
Good evening to the board. My name is Christopher Harrell. 6319 Muskrat Bay Road. I live approximately 8 houses the opposite direction of Judy, and this Airbnb that is going to be going into place here is in between us. I've been a town resident for 25 years. I've raised my family in my house. It's always been a peaceful neighborhood. We have a lot of our residents are aging into their 70s and 80s, where they're spending the tail end of their life. And this is obviously not going to be a desirable use for these properties down through here, when these properties are on 50-foot lots. I mean, they're literally from door to door, not 50 feet apart. Had I wanted to live next to a hotel or 2 doors down from a hotel or a motel, I would have bought a house 2 places down from a hotel on Route 11. I would say it's good that you folks are taking action. I have spoken with the code enforcement officer, who has informed me that the laws that are on the books now, as you have said, do prevent this. And that if people would start filing complaints with them, that this will be enforced. Because this just, it cannot be allowed to stand. And the other thing I want to bring up with this as well, as Judy has pointed out, with these companies coming in and making these purchases, the residence in question between us is a 3-bedroom home with 2 bathrooms. And it just sold for about $550,000. So I know the prices are inflated right now, and let's call that lot on the lake worth 200 grand, which is way over what we're being assessed at. And very, very, very reasonable, very I'm in trouble with the word I want here. My point being, even if you wanted to call that lot $200,000, you now are saying that a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home is worth $350,000. So I guess what I'm getting at is maybe coming in when you have a plan to use this residence as a business, maybe you would have paid a little bit more than your typical individual moving in that was actually planning on living in this house. So now coming in at $550,000 on your purchase price, this is going to affect everybody's taxes throughout the neighborhood, because we know the assessor looks at the purchase prices. Now, conversely, on the other end of this, say I decide I want to list my house 2 years from now. Somebody looks up, realizes there's an Airbnb 2 houses down. Doesn't that make my property a little bit less desirable and actually worth more, even though more than likely my taxes are going to go up over this purchase?
Possibly, yeah.
Like you said, this cannot be allowed to stand, and as far as I'm concerned, somebody needs to notify the potential buyers of these places that this is not gonna be allowable use, and maybe it would prevent, some of the initial purchases.
And we will,
I don't know if there's a mechanism, but if there was a way, I mean, that might be difficult.
I don't know how exactly that might, get put out there or whatever, but like Judy said, if maybe even if there was something sent to the real estate agents in the area and just let people know, potential buyers, hey, it's great you're looking at this, but if you're thinking about Airbnb in it, you're wasting your time.
We can send it to the brokerages, whether or not they distribute it to their agents, it's obviously up to them, but I certainly would be worth doing, I agree.
It's just a thought, maybe from a common sense perspective.
Thank you.
I guess it's probably about all I got to say here, and we'll see how this shakes out down the road.
But we are gonna rely, this is gonna be like whack-a-mole, we are gonna rely on people like you calling code when we do see something.
And like I said, I've already spoken to Dominic in Code's office. I already emailed me the forms for the complaint. I have printed them. They are getting distributed to the neighbors.
Right.
And the complaints will keep coming, and when the noise starts, the complaints to the police department will start.
Good.
we'll also maybe try to send letters to all the residents in that area.
Probably not a bad idea, because obviously there should be more people complaining. And he said that part of the issue is people aren't coming forward and saying something. Well, obviously some of us are.
And last thing, send it to, Lenore Beckle at the Greater Service.
Yes, they are, good call, yeah.
Water Rail, if you send it to her, then it'll be.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay.
Wow. Is there anything else, PUDM is second page, the Michigan second page?
No,
I can imagine these guys living out in the water, and they show up and they say, I think 500,000, 500,000, and for 4 or 5 stories, about your view, but the hell with you, right? Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak? If not, we'll keep the meeting open. I believe I make a meeting to adjourn.
What's our meeting in December, Ms. Hasselhoff?
Is it the 12th of December? 12th of December, 12th or 14th? 14th. All right,
So I move to adjourn the public hearing December 14th.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Next. The public hearing to consider, wait a minute, I'm sorry, apologize. Let me get the mic here. Right now. Okay. I apologize. For hearing. The public hearing will consider the acceptance of the petition plan and contract drawings for the Lake Shore Sewer District contract number 5 Barthel Road. I'm sorry, Barthel Road crossing. Kate, would you want to speak on behalf of any of this?
Oh, sure. This is just to give sewer service to 2 lots that are on the north side of Bartell Road. And so they have to go with the public sewer under Bartell Road. It's paid for by the developer.
The public hearing, am I correct? Public hearing started at 6:59. I apologize. Anybody else? Would anybody like to speak on behalf of the sewer?
You just have to state you have proof of publication.
We have to approve the publication date.
You have proof of publication.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nobody like to speak on behalf of that one. What was that? And then, we got a seeker to read. Oh, this is your, close the public hearing now? Yeah. 7 o'clock. Resolve the Cicero Town Board adopts a resolution declaring the construction of the sewer infrastructure for Lake Shore Sewer District. Contract number 75 as an unlisted action for the purpose of the speaker compliance. A short form environmental assessment form has been prepared by the engineer for the project, and the proposed action will not have any negative impact on the environment according to the proposed action. It does not require a preparation of a draft environmental impact statement or any other statement as adopted.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Vote no, abstain, pass. Who's next?
You gotta make the decision.
See you on that. Yeah. That's it. Oh, there we go. I apologize. In the papers up here. Decision to approve the contract drawing sewer district contract number 75. Move the adoption resolution to approve the sewer district plan, petition plan, and contract drawing titled Lake Shore Sewer District contract number 75, Bartel Road crossing. Associated with the CNLE property dated February 22, revised August 16, 2022, as prepared by Cicero Engineering PLLC. Second, discussion. All in favor? Aye. Vote no or abstain, pass. This one's we're gonna set a public hearing for this one. This is authorization to set a public hearing in connection with an application. All right,
Excuse me, before we get started on this,
yes,
per the review of the attorney,
Could I please just have you, when you read the part about authorizing the supervisor to execute the documents, the site control affidavit for the non-municipal owned properties needs to be executed by the assessor for the town of Cicero.
by the assessor,
Yeah, you can just say, and also the assessor for the town of Cicero.
and also be the assessor and as well.
Yeah.
Oh. On the next one or this one?
you're on the one for the.
Number 7. Okay, I got you. I have to find something. I have something up here that I've been looking. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Whereas this board is advised of the proposed subdivision submission of a Restore New York program application for up to $2 million to support the redevelopment project at the former location of South Bay Volunteer Fire Department. And whereas these Restore New York grant funds will support the site revitalization of the community center to benefit town of Cicero residents, and whereas it is necessary that a public hearing be held, a public comment in regards to this application. Now, therefore be it resolved that the supervisor and the assessor authorized to execute all documents and certifications required as part of the submission of the application, and be it further resolved. A public hearing will be held by the town board on Wednesday, December 14th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. at the Cicero Town Hall, 8236 Burton Road, Cicero, New York, 13039, for the purpose of hearing public comment on the aforesaid application for grant funding. Second. Discussion. So, this was on our docket prior to this, and there was so I'm happy that this came back up. All in favor? Aye. Vote no, or abstain, Pat.
Metro North Plan Unit Development located at 8010 and 8016 Brewerton Road, Cicero, New York, tax map numbers 44-03-01.1 and 44-03-12.2. Move the adoption resolution that the town board of the town of Cicero assume the role of lead agency pursuant to the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act in regards to the application known as Gabriel Development LLC for a change of zone from regional commercial to planned unit development PUD for property located at 8010 and 8016 Brewerton Road, tax map numbers 44-03-01.1 and 44-03-12.2. To accommodate the proposed Metro North Plan Unit Development Project, the project includes the construction of senior and multifamily housing with 17 buildings and up to 300 overall residential units.
Second.
Discussion, just commenting, you're not voting on the actual zone. Correct. Correct. Clarification for everybody.
Just assuming the role.
We have, I believe, 30 days. Robert? Okay.
Probably.
Next meeting, next meeting, you should have something by? No? Probably by the 14th. Okay. 14th, next meeting. Nothing else? Okay. All in favor? Don't know or abstain, pass. Nine, Council Clerk.
Move the adoption resolution approving the Cicero Town Clerk to submit a request for bids for cleaning the Cicero Police Department located at 6200 State Route 31, Cicero, New York, 1039 in the post standard.
Second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, pass.
Move the adoption resolution approving the October 2022 driver's village vehicle repair bill for $11,298.61, budget code B312042.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no or abstain, pass.
Move the adoption resolution approving Stan White Snow Plowing LLC for snow plowing and snow removal from sidewalks of the Cicero Police Department located at 6200 State Route 31 for $3,600 payable in 5 monthly installment payments amount of $720 apiece. Quotes were obtained for the services in 2022 in compliance with town procurement policy. Budget code B312060.
Second. Discussion. All in favor? Vote no or abstain, pass.
Highway supplies, move for the adoption of a resolution to declare the following items as surplus and of no use to the town of Cicero. The items will be auctioned through Auctions International. 2003 International 2.5 ton crew cab, truck number 37. 2013 Ford half-ton pickup, truck number 1. 40 feet concrete pipe elliptical.
Second. Discussion. All in favor? Vote no or abstain, pass.
Purchase of a 2023 Silverado 1500 crew cab 4-wheel drive, highway superintendent. Move for the adoption of a resolution approving the purchase of a 2023 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 crew cab from Drivers Village Chevrolet for the contracted price of $51,447.50. Budget code DB 51102.
Second. Discussion.
Yep, Elka, this was in our current year's budget, correct?
This is a budget modification that was on this. There's a budget modification on this for this meeting. The revenue was for the sale of equipment, 26,000, and excess chips state aid for 27,000. So it was not in the original budget for 2022. It was a budget modification.
And with the sale of his current truck as well, we'll go towards that. Which is a 2013 Ford. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, we were waiting on you. Oh, okay. Okay, all in favor? Vote no or abstain.
Move the adoption of resolution approving the Assistant Town Clerk to submit a request for bids for a backup power system to Cicero Town Hall located at 8236 Brewerton Road, Cicero, New York, in the post standard.
Second. Discussion.
I just say a backup power system, you mean generator, like a standby generator.
Correct.
This is just for the bid, right?
This is
This is correct. Yep. And all in favor? Vote no or abstain. Pass.
Approve new fire hydrant on Taft Road. Move the adoption resolution approving Aqua project number 9004114. Application agreement calling for the installation of a fire hydrant number 15204 on Taft Road to serve the proposed Green Thumb Lawn Care Facility. The project is shown and referred to as map file number 64. According to the agreement, Aqua will install a hydrant at the owner's sole expense. The town will be notified when the installation is complete, and thereafter, the Taft Road Water District will be billed an annual hydrant maintenance expense, which is currently $76.74 per hydrant.
Second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Vote no, abstain, pass. Anyone else have anything? Yeah, I'll put discussion.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, Councilman Rizzo is not here. He is on a vacation that was planned even before last year's election. So he just decided to take the night off. He is getting some, the rest and relaxation on something that was again planned before he was even elected to the board.
Thank you. We'll move on to calls from January. These are police calls from January 1 to October 31. Calls for service 2021 were 16,603, and 2022 16,363. Arrests in 2021 were 279, in 2022 371. And domestics are up from 310 last year to 375 this year. And accidents are up from 478 to 534. And regular just general reports are 459 for 2021 and 2022 to 564. I'd like to thank the chief for getting me those numbers every month. That's great. So I'd like to just have a little conversation, open discussion with everybody. Last week, I had the opportunity to meet with our Fine County executive, which was a great meeting, by the way. County executive expressed his interest in the revitalization of Brewerton, his desire to help and to help finish that project with us. That was pretty exciting. We also discussed the impact of the Micron that will be here in a few months or maybe a year starting. And I expressed my concerns about the planning of the future of the town of Cicero and the great opportunity we have to work together with him in the county. County executive understood that the impact this could have on our town and stated planning is very important, stated he would help Cicero plan for the future by giving the town $100,000 to help develop and plan for our future of the town. I think the county executive for the time is interested in helping Cicero. And again, I will say this, which makes me happy and proud of Cicero. Again, I will say working together does make a difference. With that being said, after the board extended discussions, the board has agreed to have a business district study, which would address various parts of the town, which is crucial to our infrastructure and potential economic improvements, just to name a few. This study will include Route 11 from Bear Road to the Brewerton Bridge. We will also have sub-districts to include all of Route 31, Lawton Road to the Bridgeport line, South Bay Road, Northern Boulevard, East Taft Road, and Lake Shore. The great thing about this is we can add the areas we see fit for this and make improvements to certain areas down the road if needed. And then once these are in place, if there's an issue in a certain area, we can address that certain area. We don't have to go after the whole town. We can specifically address the issue at hand. I can't what was the planning aspect of this for the county? To get a
Right, to start the process, we would get in touch with the county planning folks who do a lot of this stuff, and just, we would have to come up with our breadth and parameters for it. Also, we're going to have to obviously secure experts to help with the planning process. We could do that through a piggyback process with the county purchasing or RFPs on our own, which would come out of the funds. One of the interesting things about the county is, you've seen the referrals for the last few years. almost every project everywhere, they ask for traffic study. The reason is they're building, a database, and they're trying to have a baseline of what, traffic is around through the rest of the county. So they're trying to put that on the individual developers. So the database, so they have a lot of resources there that, the town can help take advantage of as well. But we're gonna have to determine the scope of that, which will probably be our first step.
So after the scope's determined, this will be completed by a professional service.
Yeah, that's up to the town who, who would be, we have some choices, I imagine. Guess that, pick who you might want. To help, at least in terms of some of the data and so on.
Sure. Anyone else?
Well, I just think that this is, this is gonna, I think, be really great. I think that, and I'm glad that we have the opportunity to do this contract piggyback with the county. We may end up with a better price than we would if we put our piece out on our own. It's been a really truly great collaboration to address this. I like the flexibility that we have with something like this, because if there are changes to one part of those corridors, we can address that. So it does give us greater flexibility. Really, I want to thank the board and the supervisor. This has been a kind of a thing that snowballed with a discussion among a few of us, and then expanded. Some more ideas and some additional corridors were presented. And I want to thank Council White for that, for some of her thoughts on that. And Supervisor Aragano, this kind of started out a little bit with just a minor discussion between myself and Councilor Cal Marizio, and then we kind of grew it, and this has been a really good collaboration. I think it's going to result in a great product. And I'm happy that we're going to be moving forward with this.
Anyone else?
Working together in collaboration. That's my main comment, and I appreciate it from everyone.
And this is something, that will be available, these products to be incorporated into a future comprehensive plan that would be prepared by that committee at a future date. So this is something that really will be useful in multiple ways, but I like the flexibility of this. I think we should designate, and I agree with Supervisor Aragano, Route 11 business district, because it really is a business district for the town. We may as well call it that. And then these sub-districts obviously will feed off of that and are, going to be pretty significant, really, I think, with micro funding. So I think this is a good step forward for them.
I said I wanted to say something. You want to say something? No. You want to say anything? No? Okay. That's all I have with. Well, thank you. Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Tonight we'll. Public hearing, public input? Yeah. Public input. Public input.
Tim Murphy, Knoll Road. Hey, if you're gonna do a business district study, you might want to consider having some kind of mandatory sidewalks, or at least maintaining the ones we have in winter. Because a lot of people can't afford the cars around here, so they end up walking. And I see people with wheelchairs trying to walk down the little bitty mud path that Walmart left for us, so you might want to put some kind of ordinance in there.
I will comment on that the state was supposed to put those in this year, but they lost their vendor, so it's gonna happen in the spring of next year.
Down Route 11 or some.
Up Route 11, from Stevens Drive all the way up to Pennsy Lane.
Oh, excellent, excellent. But some of your other business districts need that sidewalk too, like you did with the school. Those kids really needed that sidewalk, and you guys manned up and did it, so I was like, no press.
We're also working on some sidewalks up in the Brewerton area as well, from the bridge all the way to the school.
Oh, excellent.
So we're
Nice to
moving.
hear that. Now, what about cleaning them for the winter? Is it, it's,
Well, that's another.
you're breaking up, I can't hear you. Thank you.
That's another.
That's an ongoing discussion.
Thanks. Anyone else like to speak?
Feeling a little chatty tonight, sorry. Is there an update on the Parks and Rec moving to the highway garage?
Park and recreation moving on the highway? No, nothing right now. We're looking
Because
at,
winter's coming, I just wondered.
no, they're fine where they are right now. We're looking to move them, but that's not right this minute.
Okay. About, over a month ago, Mr. Marzio remarked on forming a town facilities committee.
Correct. We're working on the application right now.
Okay, and that will have nothing to do with the business district study?
No, this is just facilities. Town hall, highway department, police department, just the facilities.
Okay.
In regards to the town.
Okay. I had an experience when I was in Brooklyn Thursday last week. And, I was at the pharmacy, which is across the street from Daly's Bar. And I observed two tractor trailers parked in the main drive lane because they were unloading beer and their other products for the bar restaurant. Plus, there was another tractor trailer that was parked in the municipal parking lot, and two guys with 5 cases of something, soda and whatever, running across Route 11. So I think that this should be taken into consideration because we have another restaurant now in Brooklyn.
The Italian one?
Yes,
Right.
Bella Luna is very nice, very good, been there. But, very quaint. But, just, if we're talking about bump outs and, improving the highway and sidewalks, what's our consideration for being able to accommodate these tractor trailers to supply these businesses? You need to think about that. You don't have to think about it now, but please take it into consideration because these two guys were running across and it was very busy last Thursday. It's a very busy little town. Also, there are 75 various businesses between the Burton Bridge and Route 11 in Cicero, or Route 31 in Cicero. 75. I started counting them and mentally thinking about it. There's your churches, your fire departments, there's restaurants, there's lawyers. There's schools, obviously. But anyway, there's 75 or probably more. But we don't have sewer, gas, water from this corner to the library, because the library road gets supplied from the back where the cottages is. And then there's no sewer again until O'Mara Drive in Brooklyn. And then there's sewers from there to the bridge. So infrastructure has got to be the key if we're going to develop that.
And that's why we stated that the business district, especially in these areas here. And I did talk to the county executive about that, about sewers in that area, and not water, because I didn't really, we don't have water up there either.
I'm not really sure.
I
It's
thought
sporadic.
it was sewers, but.
Well, and gas, natural gas, I think.
And that, it was a discussion, and obviously they're gonna have to, enlarge their, what's the sewer, what's the one up there? I don't know.
Oak Orchard?
Oak Orchard. They're gonna build a new one.
They gotta build it.
But hopefully, and with the study that we're doing, hopefully can address those issues. That's
Okay.
why we want to make sure that we,
Well, again, in order to develop that,
right.
stretch, we gotta have the infrastructure to bring them.
Yeah, and we're well situated, I think, to benefit from Micron, and I know the supervisors brought it a couple of times. I ran into some people from Osida at the Micron event and also raised an issue, and I think all of us, every time we get a chance, are going to, because we want the county to put the sewers in. There's a lot of commercially zoned land there that's right for development, but we need those services. I think there's water, because isn't there water there's water on Leadville, right?
Yes.
Okay, but we need sewer, we need gas, I agree.
I never heard of no water. I could be wrong.
Well, there's not sewers on Mudmill.
No, I know that, I
A
know
lot
that,
of them as well.
but there is water, but yeah. we need
Yeah.
infrastructure, I agree.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? No? Yeah, motion to adjourn. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.